All righty then. Y'all ready for an off the rails, anything goes, so smoking gooder show? I have no idea how this is going to go, but let's find out. Here we go.
Hi, my name's Breeden of La Pasadena. You're watching the So Smoking Gooder Show. Are y'all high? Because I am. Enjoy the show.
What's up, Reagan from La Pasadena? Thank you for doing that. Are we high? I'm not, but maybe just one of my guests tonight, maybe. You never know. You never know. And I'm talking about Butter, the VP. No, I'm just kidding. Now, who knows what's going to happen tonight? I got to be honest with you people. I didn't do a whole bunch of prep because I know we have stuff to talk about. But let's get this show started, shall we? What is up? Good evening, Gooder Gang. You know what time it is. It's a little after 8 o'clock on a Wednesday, and you know where to be. That is right here watching the very best fake internet barbecue show on the planet. That's right. You're watching the So Smoking Gooder Show. I am your host, Rob Roach, and I'm coming to you from the Bullhorn headquarters in Cypress, Texas. Damn glad you're finding us either however you're doing it, either on Facebook, as a lot of you do, or on the YouTubes, as quite a few of you do, or on the Twitches, as more and more of you are doing it. We are getting a little Twitch niche, and I'm excited about that. Shout out to our guest last weekend. We had Arnie Tex, as I said in that show, a true ambassador for barbecue. He's been doing it for a number of years. Some of y'all got that number and were able to get some cool, some swag from Arnie. We talked to him about his start, which was the trivia answer. When did he get his start? That was 1999. Somebody put 19 30, or no, 98, excuse me. Somebody put 38. That one digit is off by a few decades, but yes. And 4 of you were able to get some of his new rubs, the OG and the Wow. If you want to look that up, you can find that again at pitmaster.us. You can get with Arnie. And then that was pretty much the show last week. That was it. We had Arnie on. Me and Case were talking. And then we started talking about something else, and that was the American Royal Party of the Year. Did you guys enjoy that? I went back and watched it because I kind of lost my head there for a little while, but it was a good little rant. I am not apologizing for what I said, but if I offended anyone out there with that rant, suck it up, Buttercup. I don't care. No, it was worth it, and I'm glad I did it. So let's go. This is about the time of the show where I give some shout-outs. Daddy Dutch, of course, first in line. Judge Wep, Wes Reed, how are you? Michael Sistruck, AJ Garza, what is up? Saw him out in Hondo this weekend. Jared McCrory, Kevin Caldwell, Rockin' A. Robert Shadle's in the house. Look at you, Robert Shadle. Manuel Moreno, hello. Tim Crawford, Tom and Bell. Hey, buddy, how are you? CB, I met him. I probably met him before, but I got to hang out with him this weekend in Hondo as well. Morgan Beasley, how are you? Bobby Delgado, Cinco D, what is up? Heath McWilliams, Andre Treview, everybody out, Buzz Barbecue, and Michelle, what is up? Thank you for tuning into the show. I was reminded just right now, reading names here. We lost a barbecue brother this past week. I know y'all aren't. Wherever you are, please bow your head, take a moment of silence, and let's remember Tim Hartle. Thank you. Tim was an outstanding cook from the San Antonio area. I had the pleasure of cooking with him for a few contests, and he will be missed. So if you guys were a friend of Tim, sorry for your loss. He was a friend to the barbecue community, and he will be missed. Okay, that said, we've got a few guests lined up for tonight. I am Han Solo, as you can tell. I was going to have, Case Han is not able to make it, so I am Han Solo. I still have out there an invite to Tony Tenace, but right now he is ghosting me, not answering his phone. Maybe he is pissed off from last week. You know, I did call him out last week, so maybe this is payback. Tony, Top Fan Tony, where you at? Well, when you do finally get some internet, when you get that connection, you probably didn't pay his bill. Whenever you get your connection back up, I sent you the link. Just join in whenever you want. All right, like I said, didn't really plan. There was some breaking news. Before I get to the two people, I got LC Barbecue, Phil Breeden in the house, and I got the BP of IBCA, Dennis Butterworth in the house. There was some breaking news that brought down tonight. About 5 o'clock, Champions Barbecue Alliance announced there was a press release that was brought out about 5 o'clock this afternoon. I'm not going to read it. You guys can go to Champions Barbecue Facebook page, or you can go to the group, and it's a press release by Fred Robles, president of Champions Barbecue Alliance. Pretty much, you should go and read it, but the gist of it is that Champions Barbecue Alliance is now not only have the option to be a 4-meat organization, we also are giving the option of being a 3-meat to any promoters or cooks that want to do that. We are also doing a different way of turning in your food with chicken and brisket. Ribs and pork will remain the same, but brisket and chicken have taken a step to where you can be more creative with your box. Please go and read this. There's 3 pages of it. It's a good read, and it talks about why Champions Barbecue Alliance decided to make this change, and it's a good message from the president of Champions Barbecue Alliance. So you can go and read that. It's all over on their Champions Barbecue Alliance Facebook page and on their group on Facebook. So there you have it. Those were some breaking news that happened today. Who's checking in right now? Is that Tony? I don't know. All right, we're going to bring on our guests For the evening, you guys know them very, very well. They are big-time competition cooks all over the country. This first guy, let's bring him in because he was in first. Mr. Philip Breeden from LC Barbecue. How are you, Phil?
Great. How's everybody tonight?
You're looking mighty fine as always with the green shades. That is a signature look now for you. I like it.
It has been for a while. I think
it has been for a while.
These guys for about a year now.
Now you're rolling with the Crocs and the sweatpants. You better not be putting sweatpants on right now. It's freaking hot outside.
Man, I ditched the Crocs. I'm hey dude. I guess I got this pair, I don't know, a month or two ago, and I'm digging them because they're super, super lightweight.
Hey dudes are all the rage, man. They are all the rage. Hashtag unblock case.
For like 2 months. I'm gonna need a new pair about every 2 months. I'm pretty hard on them.
You're pretty hard on them. You got a lot of use out of them, a little wear on them. But Case, you're not blocked. You're the one who said I can't make it this weekend. Are you hanging out with Tony? Tony's ghosting me right now. I think he's mad. I think he's mad.
Why would he be mad at you, Rob?
I don't know. I don't know. I did go back and watch that. That was fun. Let's bring on the other guest of the evening, Mr. V. Man, you got your shades on too. You know, I did put that.
He's got the man. What's the Woody Harrelson movie? What is that? Natural Born Killers going on.
That's right.
I'm digging it, Butter. I like it.
Hey, fun fact, Crocs bought Hey Dudes. So
did they really?
What did he say?
Yeah.
Crocs bought Hey Dudes. Can you hear, Butter?
Yeah, the Crocs company bought Hey Dudes.
I'll be damned. Well,
can everybody hear us? Our corporate sponsors don't like you, Case. No, that is not the case. Guys, if y'all can hear all of our guests, please give me a thumbs up because it's I think I can hear them just fine. Butter, how you doing, buddy? Where are you at? You look like you're are you in the War Pig headquarters over there?
Yeah, this is my private lair. Just a little bit of hand grenade over here in case I decide to season up my desk real quick, apparently. But yeah, just my little office. I wake up, roll out of bed, jump over here, and go to work.
So how are things going for both of you guys? Y'all have been competing like you always have been. Y'all both have been doing it pretty hard for the last shit. I know, Phil, you've been at it for about 4 years, maybe longer. I'm talking about each and every weekend. Butter, you are pretty much following that same suit for a long time. How are things going out on the trail for you guys?
Yeah, good.
Go ahead, Phil.
Yeah.
Phil, you just got back from Pusa Q. How was that?
Shit.
Y'all gonna have to amp it up here. I built this as an off the rail. I didn't know I was gonna have two people asleep right
contest, now. Rob, ask me about the previous 4.
Well, hey, you can't always talk about the good ones. We can't always hit the good ones.
It was fun.
I feel like we're at an award show waiting on the music.
Super well. No, go ahead, Butter.
Go ahead, Butter.
Oh, I'm sorry. We just keep lagging. But no, yeah, everything's going good on my end. Having a good time. Getting ready to simmer down for the summertime because it's too damn hot. I got 2 ACs and it's still too hot. So.
Yeah, I'm doing the same thing, man. It's too hot out there. We were just in Hondo, 103 degrees, and that was legit 103 degrees out there, and it was miserable. It's no fun when it's that hot, man. But yeah, the things out there, you got your AC. You got 2 ACs. I got 1, although I wasn't working last week. I need to get my generator up to par. I was old school in the heat. Me and Michelle Castillo were cooking next to each other, and she was under a tent and I was in the trailer, but there was no AC in there, Bubba. It was just hot, man. So you're gonna take a break, a little Butter, from that?
Little Butter's taking a break. Yeah, is that what you said?
Yes. Are you lagging on your end? Where are you at?
Yeah. No, we got a couple more. So I'm taking a golf trip Memorial Day weekend, something totally different than barbecue, going to Myrtle Beach, and then got a couple of cook-offs. Probably take a break after that. So.
All right. Well, I did want to bring you guys on to talk about the state of barbecue. I've talked to a few. I've watched some other shows. I've talked to some people A lot of people maybe up north think that barbecue is or competitive barbecue. There he is. He did have a weak connection. Maybe we'll get him back here. That feel that barbecue's dying. You are one that goes all across the country. You see maybe team counts being low, or maybe they weren't what they used to be. What's your thing? How are you seeing things out there when you're traveling the country?
Man, I don't know. It's kind of hard to say because you got just so many different factors going into that question. You know, we're coming all kind of trying still to recover from COVID. So you had that whole phase where everything crashed and they even quit. And then they come back in numbers and people were scared. I'm across the nation, right? Last year, still a lot of events were canceled. Now this year seems to be pretty wide open with no COVID restrictions or whatever. But now, you know, diesel's over $5 a gallon, unleaded's $4. I don't even know what that is, $4, I guess. So you have these extreme fuel prices.
Higher than that.
You know, the BBQ last weekend is 2,000-mile trips, $1,000 in diesel. That makes it pretty unsustainable to travel and compete like that. You know, I mean, now your brisket's no longer your highest meat or your entry fee. It's fuel. It's fuel getting there and back. So that's going to play into a lot of equations for people and numbers to shrink, right?
Right.
It seems like teams really are wanting to compete and get out there, and numbers are kind of up, but now everything's back wide open, and you know you've got a dozen contests to choose from every weekend. So, in a sense, numbers are scattered at different events, maybe too. So, there's just some thoughts on it.
No, I was bringing up the same things. You know, we all know about the meat prices and the fuel prices. I feel like a lot of the competition entry fees have gone up a little bit as well, maybe to offset some of that. Maybe they're not getting sponsor monies like they used to because the sponsor monies are not out there like they used to be. Just there's a whole bunch of different factors that are playing into the fact, and you raised a good point. A lot of teams maybe haven't come back after COVID. A lot of teams maybe just still staying away, or maybe they found another hobby that they're doing and just haven't made their way back to competition barbecue. But there are a lot of factors out there that are playing into the team counts being down, and that's what I kind of wanted to talk to you guys about. And maybe is there a solution to maybe get those up? I don't know. Maybe I'm sure Butter, you probably had conversations about this very topic.
Well, not to mention the payouts are worse. You know, everything's going up and the payouts getting worse on these cook-offs. So I mean, every once in a while you have a great cook-off that has a really nice payout, but we're not seeing the return on investment at all, you know, so it's working with promoters, trying to get sponsors and trying to, you know, get somebody to help underwrite it so that they can offer more money back to the cooks, because cooks will start, you know, choosing where they want to go, you know, a little more passionately when they realize how much money they're spending. So, like, I mean, I wanted to go to Alabama, but last time we went to Alabama, I mean, it was like Phil said, I mean, it's $1,000 in diesel then, and it was $4.99 a gallon in diesel, and I just couldn't bring myself to go back, you know. So I went to League City, kept it close, and that's what I've been choosing a lot more close cook-offs recently, you know, just so that I don't have to drive that far and worry about the damn diesel prices. You know, I mean, when you're just getting to a cook-off and you're $600 spent on fuel, you know, not to mention probably a $300 entry fee and $500 in meats. I mean, you know, you might as well just have a good time because you're not going to win any of that back, you know, unless you go to BBQ and, you know, you get lucky on something and get money
you
back.
gotta win.
But that ain't every weekend. So.
Man,
No,
I checked. I went back to him like, you sure you ain't paying out 18th place? You sure?
Yeah. So one of the issues, you know, that we see is, you know, there's a lot more options for the cooks these days. You know, Rob, we talked about it offline, the amount of cook-offs that were going on last weekend alone, you know, so everybody's spread out, everybody's more regional and sticking to a more regional cook instead of traveling the state like we used to always just hop in and go and travel, you know, and we had our favorites. But now with so many cook-offs every weekend, it just kind of spreads it thin, waters it down a bit.
Jen Lee's in the comments. She's a promoter. It's the struggle to get sponsored dollars like years past, and that's for sure. Trisha is mentioning sanctioning issues too have had many issues. I'm not I don't know. I'm not sure, but as far as the dollars just aren't where they were for sponsors. So unless you're Bullhorn Barbecue and go compete at the American Royal, you're not going to have the sponsor dollars that you have that it used to be. But underwriters are ghosting
dollars,
promoters.
Rob.
What's that?
You got those corporate dollars, Rob.
That's what I'm talking about. Underwriters are ghosting promoters like Tony, huh? Really? I don't know if that's.
It's going after sponsors is hard. I mean, it takes a true salesperson to do it. And somebody that's going to hustle for the money. I mean, just look at what we do for Houston Rodeo Cook-Off. I mean, shoot, we raise every dollar we spend out there. And so that whole thing's underwritten for us, thank God. So I don't have to come out of pocket for any of it. So it's definitely a hustle, and the sponsors are out there. It's just your usual sponsors aren't there anymore. So you have to be creative and think outside the box. And best thing to do is figure out what industry is booming and go chase those people for money. Go look at healthcare.
Hey, the good thing is everybody loves barbecue except vegans.
Except who?
Vegans.
Yeah, no, they definitely
they like
don't.
Barbecue too, and they're really secretly envious that they're not eating it.
So Phil, you've been beyond Texas. Are the counts also lower? They're definitely feeling. I feel a little more like than we are now. I was talking like Butter mentioned. He and I talked. There were 14 contests in the state of Texas last week. That's definitely going to keep team counts wherever you go. They're not as many as they would have been if those 2 or 3 weren't that same weekend. And then you had one this past weekend where there was a little light. It was a little lighter. I think we went from 14 to like 7 contests. So maybe promoters should kind of look at the dates and see. I know a lot of people are stuck on their date and they really love their date. They say, well, I'm the 3rd week in April or whatever it may be. Maybe as a promoter, you kind of look and survey the landscape and say, okay, well, maybe there's 4 contests within 150 miles of here. The next weekend there's 1 or none. So maybe that's something that they can take into account. I know it's hard whenever you're set and you have your date set and you really want to establish that because you want cooks to know, okay, 3rd weekend in March is my event, and they should know that, and they're always going to be there. But it's something to look at if you want to grow your event, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't disagree with any of that. It's a lot of it does fall on the promoter and whether it's good or bad, right? If it's a great successful event, it's the greatest promoter we've ever seen. If it's a failure of an event, it's the promoter's fault. So, and it's unfortunate, but that's the way it is. But you really, the promoter really needs a team of people to go out and market their events. And, we had an event, an IBCA that didn't sign up until 3 weeks before their event. And they really didn't do a phenomenal job at all of marketing their event, promoting it. And, and it flopped. It was the same weekend that, we had, we couldn't get a full turnout there at that one. We had just enough for sanction in Elgin. And I think that was when CBA had the doubleheader and had 12 and 10. It was like there's cook-offs struggling to make it the whole weekend, no matter which way you went, except for, New Caney, where we had 30-something.
Yeah.
And 30 used to be light back in the day. You couldn't get a Houston cook-off for 30 people. They were always 50 to 100 people.
Yeah, now it kind of feels like that's like the benchmark at the moment. I think it will grow. Barton Barbecue's in the house. John Barton had a big weekend last weekend. GC in Hondo. Great, congratulations. Daddy Dutch is still making comments. Love this guy. He's always watching. I did want to highlight my first Twitch commenter. Where's he at? Mark G. I just saw it, man. There he is. Mark, congratulations. You don't win a thing, but you are the very first Twitch commenter on the show. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you. Mark is trying to get some barbecue business going for him. He's in the Houston area as well, but I did want to highlight that. Yeah, no, so there are lots of factors that are playing into the team count numbers right now, and we all touched on a few of them. If you guys have any things that we're not bringing up, put them in the comments and let us know. I need some shades to complete.
I can comment on something, Rob.
Let's bring it.
Being a lot of these cooks are in the 30-ish team count range.
Yeah.
I do see in the past few months a larger effort from sanctioning bodies to make events state championships.
Yes.
So from a promoter standpoint or an event, if you want an event to be successful, man, it'd be great from a cook standpoint if every single CBA Lone Star or IBCA that everybody made them state championships. I mean, I'm looking for state championships, so that's something somebody can do to pull more cooks.
Trisha just asked that very question. What's the biggest draw? Payout, location, sanctioning group. Yes, that all
really,
plays into it. But
payout and I'll say venue, but really it's amenities, power and water connections, and payout. I'm going wherever it is. I'll choose an ad over anything. If I can plug in. And that is one thing about a lot of KCBS cook-offs. They're usually somewhere where there's power and water. Not all of them, but a lot of them, and so that's why we like going out the Waller.
Like probably 90% or better, I'd have to say, Buddy.
Yeah.
It's very rare. I think last year in a 6-month time, I never used a generator.
And that's nice, especially in the summertime, when you've got power and water connections, that comes in handy. Pasadena, everybody always talks trash about Pasadena Fairgrounds because usually they don't mow the grass. You have to bring your own lawnmower out there. But damn, they got power and water. So it was always a good venue for that, at least. But
power.
That's the two most important things to me is payout and amenities is what I would say.
Are you willing to pay extra? Add an extra $50 for power and water?
It depends on what the entry fee is. If it's already $300, then no. But I think when Stephen Pfeiffer's last event, the Demolition Derby, I think it was $200 plus $50 for power and water. That was great. So I don't mind doing $250. So. But $50, think how much gas is. You're gonna probably go through 20 gallons of gas right now times $4.
Well, I was just about to say I filled up my generator and my 2 tanks, and it cost me $50. So
yeah, and now you've got easy. You're not having to wake up and
you're not having to worry about it. You're not having to fill them up. You're not. That's a good point. If $50, you're still going to pay that regardless. Why not just plug in and be done with it? Another Twitch commenter, and it's Black Robert Downey Jr. I love it, and I love the profile picture sitting over there. And Tom and Bell Clark are in the comments. Speaking of state championship, the Tomball VFW is a state championship for the back-to-back. That's coming up at the end of the month. It's also part of that Texas 6-pack. So lots of good comments. If you guys. Again, in the chat, guys, if you want to put out some more information or if you have a subject that you'd like us to touch on, now's your chance. We got 3 cooks that have been cooking pretty regularly for the past year and a half. Speaking for myself, a lot longer for these guys. But, we've got a lot of good information in our heads that we want to bring out. You got to pull it out of us. Not really. That's my job.
Speaking of state championships, Lovington, New Mexico, in June 18th is a state championship, the only state championship in New Mexico. So you know what that means if you win it.
Is that an automatic to the draw to the jack?
That's right.
So whoever wins Lovington is going to have an automatic to the jack.
It's the only bung from the state.
Nice.
Yeah. Now, we did book some other cook-offs in New Mexico coming up, this year. But right now, that is the only state championship. So.
Yeah, that's
so the other ones would have to hit 50.
That's right. And Lovington will be capped out. There's no cap, but it'll be full. Full of people. That's for sure. So.
Bo Daniel, Cuero Volunteer Fire Department Cook-Off, July 22nd, 7,500 guaranteed, which could increase first-year event and free 30 amp electrical. There you go. That's a good way to get some teams out there.
Hey, 7,500 guaranteed is nice. When you do that math, you can come out with some money.
That's very attractive.
Yeah.
That's something that as a cook you might want to see. Maybe sanctioning bodies can help drive team counts by limiting number of events they sanction in each region. That's something that they'd have to work together. We got another the Twitch people are coming in. Thank you very much, guys.
Blowing it up on Twitch, Rob.
I think we might have 6 people watching there, Phil. 6,000. 6,000. Phil. Funny story, guys. I was in. Well, there's a lot of funny stories. Butter was there too. This was in Shawnee, Oklahoma, in March of 2021. I was there with Phil doing a class, shadow class, right? And
You were the shadow. That's right.
I wasn't there. There was an actual shadow in our tent, but Phil was being filmed.
That was it, buddy.
Do y'all want to know why I say when there's 20 people watching, I say there's 20,000? Right now, 77,000 people watching right now. The reason why I say that, Mark Suarez, the soul snatcher, he's the guy that comes and films these cooks while they're doing their turn-in boxes or whatever. Anyway, he was in there filming Phil, and I was in the trailer with him. Part of me was in there with Phil. But Phil asked a question. He was like, how many people are watching? And Mark, I think he said 13,000 people are watching right now. And so Phil believed that there were 13,000 people with him.
Everybody,
And,
no big deal.
man, your sphincter tightened up, and you were just like, you went from like, okay, to just like, focus. You went straight focus, thinking 13,000
like
people.
30 seconds, and then figure if we're up to 13,000, that 5 minutes into this thing, we'll be at 500,000 people easy.
Roddy says I slept the whole time.
You did. I have pictures of you sleeping in your truck the whole time, and then we found you in Phil's trailer sleeping.
That was a rough night. I was seeing shadows. Yes, I was definitely seeing shadows. We got Fred and Roddy in the house. What's up? The president, the VP, and another VP. And I'll call Phil the president of the.
Go ahead.
I don't know. I don't know, Phil. But did you see last week? Again, this show is kind of getting. We're gonna bounce around here in a minute. But did you see last week, Phil, that I posted and I talked about how much of a badass you are on the guitar?
Man, I miss it. Send me the link.
Oh, it's right there. Look at you jamming.
Yeah, no, that was 2 weeks ago.
That was 2 weeks ago. You're jamming on the guitar. We had look at that. It's uncanny. Uncanny. We had no idea that you knew how to play the guitar. That's Sundance Head. If people don't know, he won. Did he win the Voice, Butter? Do you know?
Why ask me?
Because why do I ask?
Voice, that's all I know.
You want to know why I ask you if he won the Voice or not?
Or what?
Because of this right here. I mean, did he win the Voice?
Yeah, buddy.
Well, I'll pull that down. But, that's why I asked you if he won the Voice. I thought, you'd be in the know. You'd be in the know.
No, I know nothing.
None of that. All right, let's talk American Royal. Y'all all got your invites. Did you post your invites?
No, I didn't. So my team actually asked me if I got one. And I was like, yes, we got one. Well, you didn't post it. I was like,
It's not Facebook official. It's got to be Facebook official, bro.
Oh, we're good. Yeah, we got it. I enjoy seeing, man, I really do enjoy as an old guy seeing the first time guys get their invitations, the excitement, and then everybody else is just wanting to catch on the train, I guess, the bandwagon for it. But seeing the guys that's never been get theirs, that's cool to see and to see them post because, we all been there. And, the first time we got ours years ago, it was a big deal. So it's always a big deal, especially if you get the invitation because it means you won last year. So
it is a big deal. I said it on the show last week. Guys, post it because
don't leave your awning out.
Don't.
Somebody might drive by and drag it off.
That's right. Don't park your awning in the middle of the street. Butter will clip it.
Phil, do you have a studio audience?
Phil's got a laugh track behind it.
You got a laugh track behind you, Phil. Yeah, no kidding. Trying to make him feel better. No, but Phil, did you get your invite?
Yes, I did. In fact, I told Carmen earlier today, I'm like, babe, I got to sign up. I hadn't signed up yet. I need to get on that.
You have till June.
I will say, for the record, the American Royal is my favorite contest.
Nice.
The Royal, for the first timers, you're going to love it. I suggest you get there on Wednesday.
Yes.
Because all you really have is Wednesday and Thursday. Friday you got to start getting serious, and Saturday and Sunday all you do is cook. So, but it's epic. It's such a great time.
Yeah. My plan on going is always leave on Tuesday, arrive on Wednesday, and get set up, whatever. And then Wednesday is a real fun night, because it's just relaxed. And then Thursday is also another fun night. There's some teams out there that'll throw some parties out there. And of course, Friday is when the actual Royal begins. And so it's definitely, for sure. If you have never been, it's definitely something to see. And like Phil said, he's been all around the country. It's one of his it is his favorite one to do.
It's my favorite by far.
It's your favorite by far. I mean, it's pretty badass. It's fun. It's definitely, you feel like you're in. It's the Royal, right? It's the big one. We've all said it's arguably the biggest. I think it is the biggest sanctioned contest in the world. And it definitely feels like it when you go and you're in the race. You're in a freaking NASCAR racetrack while you're there. I never got to experience it prior to that. How about you, Butter? Did you?
Yeah, I did. My first one was at the old place. It's nothing like the racetrack. The old place was more spread out, and it was like they parked us near this, like, I don't know. There were some trains and they were switching constantly and slamming, and it was very loud. And then it was near the. I think it was near where the Royals play, because I remember that was the year I went there. I think they were in the World Series that year, and it just wasn't as cool as a racetrack. Everybody loves a racetrack. Racetrack is kind of a lot of walking, but what's that?
Kerry Chastain's in the house. The Royals of Blast. He hit a big first place chicken at Pussyq.
Yeah, that trophy's epic.
Those trophies were pretty solid. Phil, insane. Were they bigger than you, Phil?
Yes. A lot of them were. Man, I mean, shit, they were like over 6 foot tall. They were insane. Never seen anything like that. Not even remotely close.
Party in the parking lot at the Royal? Absolutely. There's going to be a lot of parties going on out there, and I don't know if we'll be competing for the party of the year that there might be. There is a party that you must attend. That's right. Three-peat. Yeah, for sure, guys. If you Vincent Regino, he's going. A call at the Royal would be, it's amazing, man. I like I said last week, I went. That was my 5th year to go, and that was my very first ribbon. We were blessed with 2 of them. Diane Arocha, my wife, she got a perfect in dessert, and I had a 16th place brisket, and that was the coolest feeling to hear your name over the loudspeaker with all those, and then the roar from Team Texas, something I'll never forget. That was a lot of fun. It's a great memory. It's something I'll always remember is in my barbecue career, and hope to improve on that this year. You never know. So yeah, it's definitely something to go. If you've never been, definitely go to the Royal. Anything else you guys want to add about the American Royal and what that experience is like?
Brian Fox asked, for first timers, what can we expect? What would y'all suggest to bring that y'all wouldn't think of to bring? Definitely bring gas cans with plenty of gas, because it's a hike. If you run out of gas,
get power.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, you can buy 20 amp power, and it's usually cool outside, so you're not going to be blowing that little 20 amp circuit breaker.
It wasn't cool last year, but it's later in the year this year. We're going to be in October.
I know. We ran the generator during the day, and we ran the shore power at night. So just because we wanted to run ACs, because it was warm.
That chicken weighs 60 pounds. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and that's good. That's good advice. That's a big ass chicken. That is some good advice, Butter. Because once you're in, you're not wanting to go out unless you're going for the night and then you're coming back in the morning, because it is a hike. Think about that. You're in the middle of a 2-mile track? I don't know how big that track is.
I don't know, but you're hiking to get out of that damn thing. But I don't really know. Like, bring plenty of beverages of your choice. Bring plenty of supplies. You can wait and buy kale till you get there if you want. If you're worried about your kale wilting or whatever, there's plenty of stores where you can go get it. But bring plenty of supplies. Make sure your trailer's stocked up. Other than that, I don't know.
Hi, Susie, Roddy Trevino, Aaron Leslie, Brian Fox, Daddy Dutch.
Snooze.
I always love giving snooze. What do you mean, man?
This is what snooze.
Oh, Suze. Yes, Susie. Anthony Katea, Derek Bernal. What is up? Let's see who else is in there. My Twitch
And
piece,
how many
Martin
people's watching,
Tycom.
Rob?
85,000, baby. 15
Oh,
from
wow.
100. 15
Well,
from 100. Guys,
what's
if you
the
are
record?
watching, if you're watching and you're new to the show, we've been doing this 4 or 5 years. We're about to have our 5-year anniversary party. There is a contest coming up in July. It's going to be in Hempstead. That's not where we're doing the party, but we're thinking about putting the party around that so that if you are coming in to this area, this part of Texas, you're going to be in the Hempstead area. We're going to do it at the Rose Hill Beer Garden that is owned by Eddie Jackson. He is part of Food Network. But not only that, it is my neighborhood bar. It's a great place. Joey Machado should be here throwing down some of his awesome food that he does. He's going to be out there with his pits and his charcoal. We're going to make it a big party out there. Again, it's going to be our 5-year anniversary. We'd love for you guys to come and hang out. We'll have shirts. We'll have decals. We'll have some more things to give away. But just really want to come out and support the show, guys, because it's going to be 5 years. I can't believe it. 5 years in this show. The very first... Does anybody? We've said it on the show before, and for somebody that I'm not giving that away. Let's see. I have some LC rawhide to give away, and Butter. What do we got here? That is a hard to find. That is a hard to find rub right there, guys. So we're gonna give away some rawhide. We're going to give away some rawhide and some bull zuka. Are y'all ready for the trivia question? Butter and Phil, you are not eligible to win.
But can we still answer?
You cannot put your rub back on the shelf, Butter, if you win this. Yes. No, do not answer. Do not blurt it out.
Oh.
The trivia question is, we've said it on the show before, who was the very first guest on show number 1 of the So Smokin' Gooder show? That was July 7th, 2017.
Oh, I remember.
First one to answer that will get a rawhide and some bull zuka.
So, fun fact, it wasn't me, but
No.
I was right around the corner from that.
I think you were guest number 3.
Because that's the year I got into HEB.
And let's see. Robert Rocha. It was not me. I was on the show, but that was not me.
I think I went on in August or September, maybe.
So far, the name has not been up. Phil Breeden also was an attendee. I think you showed up just after work one day. This is when we were doing it at the Bullprinting Wraps and Graphics Studios.
2017, Susie.
Man, I think that was episode 7, Rob. That was like 400 episodes ago. Thanks for having me back on the show. By the way.
Whatever, you've been on since then.
Working my ass off just to try to get on this show.
It was not Case Hahn.
I don't know. I think Big Ed has a strong case. I think
Justin Margist was. He was not a guest, but he was in the background back in those days. It's
maybe Case.
I'm making sure that I have not seen the winner yet. Nope, we have not seen the winner as of yet. Y'all keep guessing. It was not Jaybird.
It wasn't
Dr.
Craig
Smoke,
Sherry.
Fred. It was 2017. Craig Sherry. It was not Craig Sherry.
Has he ever been on the
Ernest.
show?
How did I get dragged back into this? Case Hahn. It was not Case Hahn. Carlo. Good guess. Nope. Rick. Who's Rick? Who would be Rick?
We're gonna go all day with this.
No, I know. We're not gonna. The question was, Case, who was the very first guest on the So Smokin' Gooder show? And do not answer. There are some cool prizes.
Oh, what about Anthony Cudia? He guessed Poe Meskin.
It was not Poe Meskin. Poe Meskin was like guest number 4 or 5 back in those days. All right, I can't until I see it. I won't keep bringing it up. But
these guys are just dropping first names.
They're just dropping. They're just dropping names. It's maybe Joe Biden. Maybe one. It was definitely not the SAG. Oh shit! Case is giving hints out. Okay. Anyway, so People want to talk about the news of the day from CBA. What do you guys? What's your initial reaction, guys? I know, Butter, you're in another organization, but that's fine.
Well, I am a member, or I don't know, maybe expired now. I've had to check. But.
You need to be a member. You can't talk unless you're a member. No, I'm kidding. You can talk.
I don't want to be. I don't need a membership to another 3-meet organization.
Well, that's fair. Phil, what are your thoughts?
I paid my membership fees because I believed in the 4-meet. So I don't like it. I don't like changing your identity mid-season or 2 years in. I just don't think it.
It is
makes sense to me.
It's still, the option's still there. It still can be a 4-meet organization, can be a 3-meet organization. I get it though.
I understood it right though. Those effects will take place January, correct?
It'll take place December 1st, which the end of
whenever the season resets. Is that
the season ends November 30th and begins December 1st? That's when the option for promoters.
I would say this. I do think that CBA has established an identity, and I think they've done very, very well. And I would like to hope that most of the contests will have the pork, but my gut tells me, IBCA had pork as an option back in the day, and we had about 6 a year, it seems like, from memory, that would have pork at a contest. So, over 90% of the time, or whatever that number is, they don't have pork. So I guess time will tell with that. The other big news was the chicken in there, that they'll allow. Well, there's two things. So if I read it correctly, you have half chicken, and then you could put pieces, so i.e. thighs or legs or.
It said whole pieces, so I don't understand what that means.
It said no pulled or chopped, or no shredded or pulled.
Right, but it said whole pieces. I don't know what that means.
Full pieces. I think that means like a full thigh, or whatever, and that would bring a question. So you can't do breast and slice the breast and put it in there. So more details to come, I assume, from that.
Yeah, the verbiage hasn't fully been set yet, but the
changes are coming. Is the way I read it.
Some changes are coming. Yeah, and
we can kind of see what
you could turn in a whole breast, just by itself. Like you would turn in a turkey breast. You could do that.
I mean,
and if you slice it in a medallion, and if you wanted to brush the slices, you would just have to include the skin on top of the medallions. So, I mean, to me, that's fun, right? That opens up a creativity. It opens up some different ways you can present a chicken. And the half chicken is still there. If you want to turn in a half chicken, you are able to do that, absolutely. And
it'll definitely make it interesting to figure out, once that change takes place, what hits or not. I mean, it's going to definitely make it much more interesting.
If I were doing it,
knife and a fork, plastic knife and a fork, and you're going into a leg with that, maybe I don't know. We'll see.
I would rather see the plastic knife and fork go away than
Susie.
Than change
everybody, Susie. Who doesn't love a breast with some skin?
I would rather see the plastic knife and fork go away and get rid of the half chicken and allow the judges to grab the meat than any of these changes that are proposed, right? Like I can't stand a plastic knife and fork. I mean, you only got 6 judges, so why not let each judge grab the damn piece of meat and take it off the box so that every judge isn't sniffing a box, hovering over it, spraying their particles all over the box. All right, just let them grab a piece, move on to the next one.
We have a winner. We have a winner. I'll announce it in a little bit, but we do have a winner. So y'all can stop naming.
Another thing that we hadn't talked about yet is on brisket. It looks like they'll allow burn ends, so that's a pretty big change as well.
It is.
It's a big change.
Or both. Yeah.
Phil, you cook a lot of KCBS, which do have burn ends. That's where burn ends as an organization, as a barbecue organization. That's where it's mainly from. How often are you turning in burn ends?
I turned them in quite a bit late in the year.
Oh, do you?
I cooked some this past weekend. I thought they were a little over. They didn't make the box that tasted great. But I can tell you the majority of the cooks in KCBS don't turn in burn ends. But some do. And I think I would assume some of these changes allowing chicken pieces and then burn ends. Texas is somewhat unprepared to go to the Royal, as their first KCBS contest. So this does give cooks experience into more cook-offs outside of Texas or into the KCBS world, which would be the American Roll and some of the larger contests.
But you're still not preparing them properly by making them be judged with a plastic knife and fork. And in that case, the judge only gets one bite. So why would any CBA cook turn in slices and burn-ins, right? Why would you waste time cooking both?
Man, I can tell you this right now. Maybe it might not be preparing them properly, but I don't know anybody that's cooking thighs and legs practicing at a CBA. So the point being, it'll at least maybe people will cook them, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Maybe not properly. That you can use that loosely because are we calling whatever? I mean, go so many directions.
There's a misconception. There's a misconception. There's a misconception about the fork and knife, though, Butter, and you have it in your organization as well. They can only go in one time, but they can go in and get as much as they can with that one scoop, right? So if there's a burn end next to a end piece of slice, and they're able to get both, then they can get both. Or if for pork, for example,
tell the difference, right? They're cooked totally different. I mean, that would be to be judged like that.
No, I agree with you there.
A slice and a burn in their mouth at the same time.
No, I agree with what you're saying right now. But you said they can only go in one time. They can only go in one time, but they can get both pieces of whatever you turned in. So the misconception is you can only get a slice or a burn in. A lot of these judges will try and get both. Like pork, if you're turning in different cuts of meat, they will try and get a money muscle and some bacon or whatever it may be. They will try and do. I've been told and seen that it happens. So
hell, I judged one and I tried to just eat a whole piece of money muscle in every box, and I about died on box 4. I was so full. What a stupid move that was. Start just cutting little nibbles off.
Yeah, for those that haven't seen, CBA released a press release. They are not doing away with pork. It has been optional for the promoters to make it either a 3-meat contest or a 4-meat contest. If it is a 4-meat, it's got to be chicken, ribs, pork, and brisket. If it's a 3-meat, it has to be chicken, ribs, and brisket. So it's pork is not officially going away, and it's not going away. It's still an option. But like Phil mentioned earlier, you may see less events with that pork option.
So included. The members voting on this, or is this a unilateral change?
It's been voted on. It's happening. December 1st, it's going.
So why are y'all announcing it in May, like 7 months?
Because it was already voted on, and why wait to announce it? So it prepares promoters and lets them know what the plan is, and that's why it was announced today. We didn't wait, so it was voted on, and why wait to announce it? It's been announced, it's been voted on, so it's out there, and so you guys can do with it what you want. But promoters can be aware.
Unanimous?
What's that?
Was it unanimous?
It was not unanimous. Now, I'm not gonna point out the board votes, but it was not unanimous.
Well, I mean, the minutes will be posted, right? So the board votes will be on there.
Maybe. I don't know how that works. Fred's commenting. He's the president of IBCA, president of CBA. It's about options for a cook. I'd rather have some options on what I can turn in and be able to present how I want it than be told what I have to put in a box and how to put it in. So I see a lot of people in there. Danny Regan, I saw his comments earlier today. He said it will go away, but a lot of cooks aren't happy with, and rightfully so. They've been practicing on pork. I think it's allowed. You're going to see
I don't know how you can say they're not happy with it. I mean, you got Alba Music Festival over 100 teams. Humble was over 100 teams. Chupacabra Throwdown 90-something teams. Several 90 and 100 team cook-offs in CBA. So I don't see how you can say the cooks don't like pork. But I mean, pork.
I don't. No one said that. Said they're not. Oh, what I mean, they're not happy with the what was announced today. A lot of them do like to cook pork. I'm one. I like to cook pork.
I do too.
It's something I feel like you can.
It's kind of a wild card. It really is. I mean, it's another meat that you have to have a skill set to cook, and it's good. I like to eat it too, so it's good.
Yeah, but again, it's not going away. This is just an option. The CBA is an organization that can be a 4-meet organization or can be a 3-meet contest, depending on what the promoter feels like it's their best interest. So that's why this happened, and so it's not officially going away. But yeah, I can see a lot less pork events, unfortunately.
So you got two different cooks of the year?
No.
The 3-meat cook and the 4-meat cook, because it changes everything. And I know somebody said it didn't, but it really does.
The categories are all individually, So if you're
the overall, right? You have to, in order to get the cook of the year points, is based on your overall placing in a cook-off, correct?
Sure.
So the odds are, I'm no statistician, but the odds are different from a 4-meat to a 3-meat of hitting top 10 overall. So you can't combine the two, or else you'll just have cooks chasing the lower odds one and never going to the other one.
Well, I mean, when you go to a contest and it's a 4-meet event versus the next weekend you go to that same CBA organization and it's a 3-meet event, where you fall in the overall standings, it doesn't affect, you're all in the same playing field, right? You're still playing with a 4-meet event versus a 3-meet event. So if you're third overall in a 3-meet event and you're second.
But it's harder to get top 10 overall in a 4-meet event than it is. The odds are different of getting top 10.
I disagree, Butter. I think that's overthinking it.
No,
I mean,
it's math. It's
everybody has the same odds going into the contest.
That's what I'm saying.
There's no different odds.
When you drop your trailer, you have the same odds.
Good at pork, so that increases their odds. But man, I don't even know what that even matters.
It does matter. The odds are different.
Hey, back in the day, IBCA had pork, and they included it as their team of the year.
All the West Texas cooks have pork. Those guys are always in the top 10 because they were getting extra points for cooking that 4th meat, and that's why IBCA back then the members voted it out. Because
but you're thinking that your overall scores.
The odds are different. The odds of hitting top 10 overall cooking 4 meats is different than the odds of hitting top 10 overall cooking 3 meats. Therefore, one of them should be weighted differently to make.
If you only cook chicken and that would determine the GC, how would the odds be different, Butter?
It's 4 meats versus 3. It
doesn't matter.
Okay.
It doesn't change the odds.
Yes, it 100% changes the odds.
Tell me how it changes the odds. As a mathematician, tell me how the odds change.
Because
they don't change.
Now you have 4 variables versus 3 variables. It's completely
different. Just more variables. It doesn't change the odds.
What?
I do want to say that we hit 100,000 people watching. Thank you very much. Yeah, but Butter, back in the day, they had it was based on a points system, right?
Yeah,
so
it's totally different than the cumulative system that it is.
Right. Yeah, third you get a certain amount of points for finishing third, not your total overall deal. So, and that is still being worked out. So to answer that question, it's right now it's too early to say how that's going to work out because it has not been finalized. What has been finalized from CBA is that December 1st. Your promoters will have an option to be a 4-meet event or a 3-meet event, depending on what they decide to do.
What AJ Garza put. AJ just summed it up about as simple as it gets right there.
Okay, let's see. I haven't read it. I'm going to read it right now. So I can go to a 4-meet event and get last in pork, which will affect my overall, and I go to a 3-meet event and not have to worry about pork and have a better chance.
Man, that would be like saying I'm going to bomb my rib.
That's true, AJ, but
you've got a 4th variable to deal with.
True, but you showed up knowing you showed up with the same parameters that everybody else shows up with.
But it improves your odds if you do well in the pork category.
People that chase
you're only saying you're going to do bad. If you do well, I've gotten beaten in an IBCA in Channing because my pork was 7th. If they had no pork, I would have won it. So. But it doesn't matter. If a guy beat me because he hit first in pork, so it improved his odds and it depreciated mine. But everybody still has the same odds going into the contest.
You have 3 versus 4. It's completely different.
I think we should add a 5th category.
Vincent is another cook, another guy that's been tearing it up recently. He said the issue is not comp to cop. The issue is the overall for the year. Okay, well that'll be addressed, and right now that hasn't been finalized. 25% versus 33%. Look at this girl. Don't make me do math right now, Susie.
Mathematician in the comments, you can do it. So.
Matt Carr, is he a
That's the
mathematician?
engineer in the bunch.
So if I go to a 3 meet, I have a 33% chance of winning, and if I go to a 4 meet, I have a 25% chance of winning. That's what you're telling me.
Those are two different numbers, correct?
Those are two different numbers. So you're telling me if I go to a 3 meet, I have a
No, you don't have a 25%
33%
chance of winning versus you also have to add
You
in
said
the
it
amount
changes
of
the
teams picking
odds.
against you.
It changes my odds of winning, correct?
Yeah,
How
give
does
or
it change my odds of winning?
It completely and you have to
Could be one.
account for the amount of teams that are in the cook-off as well. It's more
Doesn't
than
matter.
You,
Same
you
odds.
can't have them in the same points chase. It does not make sense. One will have to be weighted, and I'm sure you guys are smart and you'll figure it out because you got smart people on the board. But I'm just saying, as it sits now, I can't.
Man, let's call Paul and ask him if it changes.
Somebody wants to bring Susie in. I know. I see you working, Carrie. I know why you want to bring Susie in. Yeah, she would be able to handle this. Based on the amount of teams, there's a lot of somebody saying love the option not to go. You have the option not to go. Yeah, you do.
Yeah, we could all take up bowling. That would be nice. And
Man, I can't. Last time I went bowling, my arm about fell off.
Mama and Papa Joe's in the house. Clarence Joseph, hello, sir. How are you, my man? 'Cause Michelle, she's with Butter. She's with Butter. Hey, and then again, that all hasn't been completely finalized or how that's going to work out. So to answer your question, we don't know yet. We'll figure all that out yet. But yeah, you're right. We do have a lot of smart people in this organization. We will figure it out. So, but I did want to bring that up. Who does?
Tim Esch.
Tim
I love
Esch.
Tim Esch. He's a barbecue legend.
Tim Esch, Timmy E, or Tiny E out in. Damn it, I know where he's from.
Do you not see it? 903 p.m.
Hold on, I'll get it. Tiny E, where's it at? Tiny E. Tim Esch, here we go. Still waiting to hear Butters' answer.
Ideal system. Do you not see it?
Here it is. Butter.
Yeah.
What is your ideal rule package?
Oh, well, he changed it. Okay. But anyways, so I like, I prefer a single table, single round judging, like KCBS and CBA. However, I prefer that the judge gets to have their own piece of meat. And cumulative scoring system, 4 meets is fine with me. I mean, it's you're either 4 meets or you're 3 meets. You can't be both. I don't like that. So, I mean, if you're gonna be 3 meets, call it the backyard like KCBS does with their 2 meet system. So, but I love a scoring system that's on a computer, and I love single round, single table. Very much cumulative scoring. Anything that's not cumulative, I just can't get behind. I hated the old days of Gulf Coast. I hate dealing with Lone Star, and I hated dealing with the old ways of IBCA. It's just the pencil and paper is not for me. I don't believe anybody that wins a first place brisket should ever win a grand champion. When there's somebody sitting in the crowd that may have gotten 3 walks, because I don't believe that person had a better cook than the person that got the 3 walks. So,
Yeah.
cumulative rewards the best cook of the day.
For sure. I think everybody can agree with that, right? You want to be rewarded for your total cook for that day. So,
Yeah.
Butter, that was your okay. So I will hide that current comment. You answered that. So with KCBS, I don't know.
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, I love cooking KCBS cook-offs. I do. They're just their average entry fees more than everybody else's because their sanctioning fees are higher than everybody else's, and their payouts are typically lower than everybody else's. But the scoring system is what I prefer.
All right, James Dodson says too much math. I'm lost. Is IBCA a 4 meet sanctioned? But I think he thinks you're on here. I think he thinks you're on here because I scheduled you on here prior to the news of today. So
oh no, yeah, I
think
James maybe came on late and we were talking about the breaking news.
AJ says so pork will essentially fade away. If that were the case, I'd rather go to a 3 meet event and better my chances for team of the year. I don't know. It's not necessarily going away. You're still gonna see events that are having, like we've got a Texas six-pack. They're going to continue to do pork. I mean, right now they have to. It's not going to take effect till December 1st. But I hope we see quite a few promoters still do include pork, because pork is I think pork challenges cooks. It's for me, I enjoy it. It's one of the categories that I think you can put some creativity in your box. You have to plan out. It's one that takes me that full hour to put together. So I'm soon as ribs are done, I'm working on pork, and it's just something. It's a challenge, right? And so it's different. And now I hope to see a lot of promoters still include pork. So if you're listening, promoters, there are a lot of cooks that still love to cook pork. So bring it on.
And I don't care for the garnish of KCBS. So let's get that straight. Like, I think that's a waste of time. However,
I think it makes.
I don't think it does anything for the sport of barbecue to have greenery at the bottom of your meat. But it's easy to do, so I don't bitch about it, and it's cheap. But I don't put a ton of effort in worrying about that versus worrying about the look of the meat. So,
I mean, the cool thing about it is if a promoter does want to, it's optional, right? So it's one of the organizations here in the state that you can be a 3-meat event, or you can be a 4, whatever you think is going to benefit your event.
Time will tell. That's all we can say.
Yeah, it's something that we can adapt, right? You can adapt. You can become a 4-meat event if you want. If you think a lot of cooks are still hammering for pork and want to do that, you're able to do that. If you want to do a 3-meat, or maybe you want to increase the payouts for each category, you then do a 3-meat. Here's Eric Torres. I don't know Eric, but he's saying pork is why I started cooking CBA. I've seen it personally and have been consistent in all 4. The challenge is what he's after, and I think we're seeing that with the amount of teams that say they're going to go to the American Royal this year. I think it's helped them. I think the pieces in the box will also help them, like Phil, you mentioned a little while ago. There's things that still will help you to do that. So, and there's different options, right? That's something that's not, if you want to cook straight half chickens, or that's just the option, right? There's different events, there's different organizations that you're able to cook, and you're able to, whatever suits you, whatever is tailored to you, think is tailored to you, then go cook that event. So we have Cody. What's Cody? Is that
Cook of the Year, right? Or
Cook of the Year with 3 meat comps and 1 4-meat comps. Okay, there you go. I have placed with pork. Good job, Phil and Dennis. What's your thought on prize money being diluted across 4 meats?
Well, it's another math question. I mean, it's pretty obvious that if it's $5,000 guaranteed across 3 meats, is a lot more money than $5,000 guaranteed across 4.
No, it's still the same amount of money.
It's diluted amongst 4.
No, but you said it's a different amount of money, but it's still $5,000.
It's a different amount of money for each payout than it is.
I agree with that.
Yeah. So, but I mean, hey, and that is what it is. So, yes, that's going to happen, and that's just a matter of working with the promoter to get more money, and try to. I mean, it's business. Everything's business, and these might be nonprofit organizations, but you still run them like businesses, and you got to help the people that are paying into your business be successful so that they continue to pay into your nonprofit organization, right? Next year with their cook-off. So you got to help them with sponsors and do what you can to guide them in the right direction of bringing more money into the cook-off.
Specifically to the question, the prize money being diluted with the 4th category.
Yeah, go ahead.
You go from, assuming it's a large, assuming they're paying out 10 in each one, you go from 30 chances to 40 chances, or they're paying out 40, right? So you pay out more places, and it's still the same amount of money, but it does dilute your call. Your one specific 6 chicken, if just say, will be a different amount of money. But, if you want to crunch it down that way, SCA has 10 calls, and they get 1,000 in the first category, right? But, we pay out a lot more in barbecue with more categories, so 3 in my opinion. So there's different ways to look at all that.
Yeah. Guys, I have yet to take a quick sponsor break, so I'm going to do that real quick. Y'all gather on. We're not done yet. We still have lots to talk about. We've got 100,000 people watching, Phil. What do you think about that, buddy?
What's the record?
300,000.
300,000, man. Y'all call y'all's aunts, uncles, cousins, and everybody. Tell them to log on.
Hey, mom and all of them.
Where's all them Twitch people? What are they up to? Share it with your Twitch buddies.
Do me a solid, guys. If you are enjoying this conversation, please like, share, hit subscribe. Do all of it if you're watching on Facebook. Please follow or like us on Facebook. If you're watching on YouTube, please ring that bell. Hit that thumbs up. That does hit that algorithm so we can go out there. And if you're watching on Twitch, thank you very much. Hit that follow button, guys. And what is it? Subscribe, man. Help us out. All right, let's do a quick sponsor spot, and then we'll come back. Phil Breeden. I think you might hear your name here, Bubba. Here we go. Shout out to our great sponsors, Rec Tech, Cosmos Q Products, Texas Pepper Jelly, Briscoe Ranch Cook-Off at the Crossroads, LC Barbecue, Rick's RV Rental and Repair, Eureka Heights Brew Company, Chicken Fried Barbecue Grinds, Jay Harding and Company, Texas Oil Dust, Bull Printing, Wraps and Graphics, and the Barbecue Store in Hempstead. Thank you for supporting the So Smokin' Gooder Show. Yes, thank you, sponsors, including Phil Breeden with LC Barbecue. We cannot do this show without you.
Hey, let's get back to the question, Rob. Who won the prize?
Sorry. Oh yeah, we'll get there. But speaking of sponsorships, guys, we do our sponsorships from July 1st all the way through June 30th. So that being said, we got about 6 weeks left of this current sponsor lineup. If you would like to become a sponsor of the show, as you can see, we have 100,000 people watching, so it's a pretty good deal. You are able to do that. Please reach out to me at rob@bullhornbbq.com, and we can talk. Let's talk about that for sure, because we have been doing this show. We have only missed one show, 1 week since November. That is crazy, people. And the reason I missed it is because I was on vacation with my family out in Tennessee. So please, if you'd like to become a sponsor of the show, reach out to me at rob@bullhornbbq or bbq.com. Speaking of which, let's get some of these guys right here. Let's get some love.
Hey everybody, Phil Breeden, owner and founder of LC Barbecue, and you're watching the So Smokin' Gooder Show.
Don't get old.
I will say this is one of my favorites.
Well, hello there. I'm Dennis Butterworth with Warpick Barbecue, but you can call me Butter, and you're listening and watching the So Smokin' Gooder Show with Rob Arocha.
That's pretty good, Butter.
That was
Man,
pretty
you know what
good.
would have made that better, though? If you'd have thrown in some of those dance moves.
Well, and that was a single take, by the way. So.
It was.
Wasn't mine. So was it?
I can, yeah. Both of y'all's were single take. I can attest to that because I filmed both of those, but that is not what the people want. Can you believe that? That is not the most
Reagan.
favorite. That is no, they don't even want
Case.
Reagan.
They want Case.
They want my show partner,
Case is the greatest.
Mr. Case Hahn, everybody.
Don't get old.
Dude, the face rub down the pole. Oh my God. Don't you know there was paint marks on his face?
Here's the original one real quick. It does have music to it, but this is a longer version of that day. I'm so impressed by his wife, Carrie. She was like, boom. She was right out the door immediately. He's like, "Are you okay?" And he's like,
Knew it was gonna
"Yeah."
happen.
I will say, Rob, she's a lot more calm than your wife was when we found you after falling off the golf cart.
Well, you know, if it were on video,
Isn't that right, Case? He remembers.
is Case even here? We've had 50 comments since we went to our break. Thank you guys for sticking around. We have 105,000 people. All right, who won? The answer was Wade Whitlow, everybody. And the first person.
Go Gingers!
The giant ginger.
The giant ginger. He is since retired from competition barbecue. Maybe one day he'll come back out. But
Barbecue.
Kevin Wise was the first that I saw. And I'll go back and check for certain. But Kevin Wise, you are getting a bottle of rawhide from Mr. LC Barbecue. And you're going to get some Bull Zuka from Dennis Butterworth. Please send me your address. You can message me online or on Messenger or whatever, or you can email me at rob@bullhornbarbecue.com. That was Kevin Wise from KW Barbecue. He wins with the correct answer.
Wade, man.
And the
Wade
question...
and Alan Day.
The question was, who was the very first guest on the So Smoking Gooder Show? And that was Wade Whitlow. Maybe I can get him for the 5-year anniversary party. That would be swell. And I did say swell. That would be awesome if we get him. All right. James says, Rob, Eric and I are rolling the roll. Can we get a pork class? Yes, absolutely. You can do that. I mean, I appreciate you asked me instead of Butter or Phil, but yes, absolutely. I'll be there and I'll give you a pork class. That's fun. Pork, no green stuff.
Better than I do.
Pork, it says no. Somebody says get rid of the fork and knives. Okay. Won't happen. Can't speak for others. What is I don't know what Roddy's replying to.
No, I tried to chase that one down. I couldn't figure it out. There's so many comments.
Mark G from Twitch. I only helped at some low-end competitions. When you say pork, do you mean pork butt? Yes, we're talking about pork butt or pork shoulder, Mark. If you have a CBA points chaser and they are chasing pork and the promoters won't choose pork and other cook-off is 10 hours away that's doing pork, how is that fair to that points chaser? I mean, how bad do you want to win it, Brian? That's basically what you got to ask yourself. We'll see. Hopefully that.
I mean, I'm sure you got a long time to work it out.
Yeah.
And to put pencil to paper and figure out everything. So.
Yeah, and
I mean, it's a knee-jerk reaction now, but that's what, like if we were sitting on Fox News or CNN and there was something breaking with politics, it's all a knee-jerk reaction.
And that's why we did not implement that next week. So we decided to wait until the end of the year. So you can assess, right? You can figure out maybe we'll have a better understanding of which contests are still going to be 4 meets and which aren't. And you have to plan if you want to chase becoming the pork champion, and maybe there are only going to be, we'll say 15. We'll throw that number out there. Events in the entire year that are going to have pork. Then plan your schedule out that way. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. What do you think, Phil? Are you awake?
I mean, I'm not really going to be chasing pork in, a category. So that just really wouldn't. I mean, I think you happen into those situations, right?
Yeah.
You don't go into the year going, man, I'm going to chase pork this year.
Right.
I think halfway through the year, you're going, man, I'm in the top 5 in pork. And then you're like, man, I'm going to go get a category win. So I just think that's kind of secondary. But, yeah, how bad do you want it if you're in that situation is what it's going to come down to. I would hope to think pork doesn't really kind of go away in CBA, but my suspicions are that I think a lot of that'll be how it's presented to a promoter. If you got a promoter calling going, hey, I want you to promote my event. Okay, do you want a 3 or 4 meet? I don't know. What do you think? I think that's going to determine what that promoter does in a lot of situations. So I don't know.
Can we get a woman's cook class? Sure. We're just throwing classes all over the place, Phil. Why not? All right. Let's see. Holy shit, I can get them on MRI. Okay. What? Hey, Rob. Hey, Rain. How are you, sweetheart? Thanks for tuning in. Phil with the Chupacabra tent in the background. Yes, that was Jackie Milligan was there that weekend. Show this weekend's. Oh, I don't have them. I haven't clipped them together yet, AJ. They're coming. Don't worry. Can your sponsors sponsor me for the Royal? I guess that was directed at me. No, they're my sponsors. Damn it, and they're corporate sponsors. Let's see what else we have here. I need sponsors. Okay. Yeah. Well, say it louder for the shorties. For the shorties in the back. Oh, here comes corporate sponsored talk. Okay, there we go. Oh, Fong's in the house. Case I wasn't on it. Fong, you did get a link to join the show. I did send Fong a link. Fong and I talked today. Fong and I are still buds, people. Don't think we're not. We've been
Who's
friends
taller?
what's that?
Who's taller?
That would be me.
Okay.
Yes, and I'm taller than you too, Phil. Let's see here.
Are you sure, Rob?
I'm 100% sure.
Oh man, I don't know about that. We'll settle that this weekend.
Okay. I love it. Tiny E, his sponsor is me, myself, and I. Anytime he does well, he puts it on there. He tags himself. I got to thank my sponsors. Hashtag me, myself, and I by like 0.5 inches. He asked who was taller. He didn't say by how much.
Hey,
Fong said he can't get on. Click that link, Fong. I will get you in.
Fong, I mean, he plays the victim card. I swear to God, there's no.
This is not. We're not bashing.
Yeah, Rob screwed
we
me.
already know
Bro,
who
send
you
me a bad
vote
link.
for in the
You know?
elections, right? You just
We're
vote
not bashing my good friend, Fong Fong.
Fong votes straight party.
Get in there, Dr. Jones.
The shorts give it an optical illusion. That's why I wear my shorties, boys and girls, and my legs longer. All right, Rob's sponsors aren't available. All right, I'm not going to be that guy that reads comments all day, but no, we've had some good discussion as far as what can happen with what will happen December 1st. So if there's any more comments on that, if you want us to touch on something, please put them in the comments. But I think we have talked about that, right?
We had a couple.
What were we going to talk about if we didn't talk about that? Would there still have been a show?
The showdown.
Absolutely.
People ask about the IBCA showdown.
I did see that. The question.
Yeah.
So talk about the showdown, Butter.
Since you
Talk about the showdown, Butter. It's going to be in Hutto this year.
The big deal for us at IBCA was trying to. IBCA has always wanted to find a spot where you could have the cook-off year after year in the same spot and have it as centrally located as possible. Now, in this state, it's difficult to find that unless you want to go to Breeden, right, which is the center of Texas. And I love Breeden, but nobody wants to cook there. There's like one hotel.
It's the heart of Texas.
So it was originally scheduled for November 11th, which is Veterans Day weekend. That's when it was last year. And it was scheduled for Region 1 up in Waxahachie. But we worked the deal with the city of Hutto. They've been great hosts for us. They've invited us down to have it at their amphitheater. They're super excited about hosting it. They're really, giving us all kinds of stuff that we can do, that we can give to our cooks. And so we're working on all the details of that as far as all the amenities and everything. But we were able to move it to Labor Day weekend, and that was something that I drove in the board meetings because, when we had it in San Angelo and we had to drive that far, and then you're turning around and driving right back home Sunday night so you can get back to work on Monday. So it was a big deal for me to find a 3-day weekend where the guys that have the 9-hour drives can drive in, do the cook-off, spend the night there, and drive home and still have a day of relaxation on Labor Day before they have to go back to work. So that no matter, there's some people that live in Austin, Cedar Park area. Yeah, they'll have a short drive, great for them, but some of us will have longer drives. And so now everybody has Labor Day to get back and relax. And since Bedford, which was one of my favorite cook-offs, doesn't exist anymore, I thought, man, Labor Day would be perfect. So IBCA captured Labor Day. There weren't really any other cook-offs going on. So that's really the driving force. Lots of hotels in and around Hutto. You've got Papo Joe's Grill and Supplies there if you need to stop in and get anything. Or Rockin' A Grill and Supplies. There you go. So you've got, all kinds of great things about the showdown. I will say that, we are working on the idea of doing a double header where day 2 would be an invitational for the top 50 in IBCA. We couldn't pull that off this year. We wanted to focus on a single cook-off and throw the best showdown that we could possibly throw, since we're kind of we made this change in April. So, and then August isn't that far away. So we said, you know what, let's just focus on one this year, and then we'll throw the possibility of the doubleheader after that, and give IBCA cooks something to look forward to every year. So that's why I moved to Hutto. Yeah, it's gonna be hot, but this cook-off traditionally, I think I don't know. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but it's usually around $50,000 payout every year, close to that. So that usually trumps any temperature issues you may have with the outside atmosphere. Money helps. So
I sent Fong the link. I'm getting some no's. Sorry, I already did it.
So as soon as we voted on it, we had a special meeting. We had which, by the way, Hutto's in Region 1 as well. So we had our new Region 1 director, Mike Gomez. Man, he worked tirelessly to find the right venue. We were going back and forth with, I believe, Cedar Park and Hutto. So they were, there you go. So, I mean, that'd be great to have an $85,000 payout.
VP to VP. Look at you guys.
So Mike worked great. I mean, Mike's a great director up there for Region 1, and he's been really working with like the police officers associations and everybody to help get some underwriters for this event. So the more sponsors we can get, just like with you guys, the regular promoters cook-offs, the more sponsors we can bring in, the more money we can just give back to the cooks for the payouts.
No, it's great. It's a great event. What are the dates on that again, Butter?
Well, it's Labor Day weekend, so it's the last weekend in August.
Okay.
First weekend of September.
And that is a full month ahead of the American Royal, so that should not play into plans on that. And Hutto's it's pretty centralized, I feel.
Yeah, it is definitely. I mean, it's a nice part of town, and like I said, plenty of hotels and plenty of restaurants, for you guys to come in and kick back and relax, and you're right there, near the Alston area if you want to spend the rest of your Labor Day weekend up there. So
Wes Reed said it won't be hot in August. I mean,
it's going to be hot. Bedford was always brutal, but man, they had 100 teams every year at that event. It was a triple header. It was a SCA, IBCA, and a KCBS.
Fred says IBCA has a new Bromfuls cook-off that weekend. Will it be moved? Will that be moved?
That I'm not sure of what the plans are with that one. So I'd have to ask the director for that one. I haven't talked to them about that.
Is that true, Matt Carr? They are the Hutto Hippos. That's pretty fun. I like that.
Yeah, they're the hippos. Who doesn't love hippos?
A lot of people. Those are the meanest motherfuckers on the planet right there. There's some mean son of bitches right there. Uh-oh. I think the gummies might have kicked in.
I'm laughing at Butter. Everybody loves hippos. And Rob, no, everybody don't.
No, there's some mean some bitches.
I feel like we can go deeper into that.
All right, I think the gummies have officially kicked in. And they're not gummies, they're Skittles. Roddy, he's right. Roddy is correct. They are Skittles.
Skittles.
Weed Skittles. That was another fun time with Phil. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we're joined by another strong cooker from the Texas area, as we all are here from Texas. A lot of guys watching, except for Daddy Dutch. I think he's in Iowa. Are you in Iowa, Daddy Dutch? All right, here we go. Let's bring him on right now. We are talking to Fong Vong. He figured it out, people. Let me drop that comment. Drop the comment. Let's put us all together. Fong, are you in church right now? Where are you?
Are you in the garage? Are you in bed?
I'm in bed.
I'm in bed.
This is not an after show, Fong. You have to present yourself till we can see you, man. What the hell? Fong, did you happen to catch the show last week?
Nope.
No.
I don't believe you.
Nope.
I do not believe you. I know you had seen the show.
I didn't see the show. Lisa saw
You
the
were
show. I didn't see
commenting early on. Did you cut out?
Lisa saw the show. I didn't see the show. She told me about it.
Is Lisa with you?
No, she's watching TV.
Okay. Was she mad? Was she mad, or did she?
No.
What did she?
No.
What did she say to you? Rob called you out.
She's like, hey, God, just it was just a show, you know. It's no big deal.
It's no big deal. You're right. It was no big deal. It was
It's
just
Hollywood.
It's Hollywood.
Adriana's in the house. She says, "Hey, Fonger, your sister's in the house, Susie. Susie's been commenting for all night long. Thank you, Susie. We appreciate you watching. Absolutely. Rain Martinez is watching. At least Fong is wearing a shirt today. Yeah, we know you like to go shirtless sometimes.
Right.
Kevin Caldwell says Lisa rocks. Yes, she does. Fong, are you drunk? Your lips aren't moving.
Hey.
Did you have any wine today, Fong?
Of course.
Of course. All right. All right. So, well, I'm sad that you didn't watch the show last week because I kind of called you out. Let's talk. Let's talk. Oh, look at that shirt. What does that say, Fong?
Do you really know what that shirt says?
You can say it. What does it say? Fuck Fong?
It says fucking Fong.
No, it says fucking Fong. Okay, not fuck Fong. All right. Well, before this gets off the rail, well, it did say we're off the rails. Anything goes. So you did not watch the show. All right. So let's hear everybody here for the most part heard my argument last week for why I am not a corporate sponsored team. Let's hear your side because I kind of went off the rails last week. You know, I kind of lost my shit for a good 10 minutes, and I talked about why. And it's only because you've poked for 3 years about me cheating to win a stupid fucking party award at the American Royal. But let's hear your side of the story, Fong.
Why not?
I mean, you didn't get it all.
Why not? Why not? Why do you think I have cheated? Look, oh wait, let me get out of the way. You see, they're right there, Fong.
Yeah,
They're right there, and I hope you win.
I have one too.
Corby was watching. He said I lost my shit for 11 minutes and 37 seconds to be exact. Thank you, Corby, for pointing that out. Okay, so let's hear it. Let's hear it. Fong with no shirt is a little disturbing, but also a little hot. Matt Carr, he thinks you're a little hot. All right, poke the bear. All right, let's hear. Let's hear why you think I cheat to win the American Royal Party of the Year for not once, not twice, not 3 times, but 4, because I claim that COVID fucking year too. Go ahead, Fong.
Well, you know, all I can say is I won it 1 year.
Okay.
I'm waiting for the drop light.
Yeah, right. With my drop light, a tent, and 16 members, and that's it.
You won it with a drop light.
We didn't have no nothing else. No DJ. No big extravagant. No nothing. We threw a party for some people that was hanging around there, and that was it.
Okay, so you think I go overboard?
Yeah,
and if you're comparing my party to a drop light party,
I ain't got a dog in the hunt, but the parties I know, Rob's party and Fong, I didn't go to that party. But if y'all were like selling it to me, I would go to Rob's because that doesn't sound very fun, Fong. 6 people in a drop light. What were y'all doing?
Well,
was Susie part of this party? I find it hard to believe that Susie was part of this party.
No, Susie wasn't there.
Shit, Susie wasn't there that year.
Yeah.
This is not a drop light party.
I know, right?
Look at that
What?
corporate sponsor.
Tell me what about that screams to you corporate, Fong?
Well, you know, I don't have somebody go there and set a tent up for me. I don't have somebody set all the stuff up for me. We brought everything from here and did it ourselves.
But that doesn't mean that it's corporate because I had a tent company that every team has access to. You can only use one tent company. If anybody knows the American Royal, you only have access to marquee events. So that is something that has access from me to you to Phil to Butter to anybody has access. And that is not a big ass tent. That is a 20 by 20. You and I put our freaking tailgate tents together, and there it is. That's a 20 by 20. Fong.
Yes, but you're in there with your company sponsors.
So
That's
if Miller Lite was in there with you, then you would feel differently.
If I had a big company next to me that set up everything else right next to me,
Hold up.
it would be different.
They didn't set it up. We set it up.
Okay, but it's still a company party, is it not?
Oh.
It's just your company party, is it not?
Yeah, but there's nobody from my company that goes besides me because I work for that company. So it's just like if you were to say, help me out. We're trying to go to the American Royal. We're going to throw a party. And you get sponsor money, which I know you do, Fong. This is no different. Maybe the dollar amount is different, but still, when you compare a corporate event to what I provided, who's there with you? Is it the dog or is it Lisa?
No. I think Lisa.
Because I want to talk to Lisa because she watched the show last week.
I was like, who is that?
My point being is, and I'm not going to go back over about what I talked about because, guys, if y'all want to see me lose my shit for about 10 minutes, or as Corby said, 11 minutes and 37 seconds, then you can go back and watch it. But, and I said earlier when I started the show, I'm not apologizing for what I said because I still love you. I still love you. And as I said last week, please invite me to your party tent at the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo because I still want to go to that. However, now Butter, we got two people right here that have two badass tents at the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo right across the street from me. What's that?
Mine's not corporate. Fong's is.
Now Butter's just starting a whole nother can of worms right there.
I will agree that I'm a corporate. Yeah, because I have a lot of corporate sponsors.
Susie, go back and watch it last week. I think you will love it. Started at a 1 hour and 5 minute mark, and you will enjoy that whole 25 minutes or however long it was.
But neither here or there. You know what?
Neither here nor there.
This is uncomfortable. It's not uncomfortable. Fong, are we still buddies? Are we still friends?
We're still buddies. We're still partying together.
And you still probably feel and you still probably feel I cheat.
I didn't know. I never said that.
You have said that.
I never said
You, golly, oh my God! Are you saying you've never said I cheat to win?
He says you cheat every chance he gets. He brings it up.
Fred's trying to bring it back full circle. So what you're saying, guys, is the odds are different. Talking about pork versus 4 meats versus 3 meats.
Big time. He's crawfishing big time.
Crawfishing, which Fong makes some of the best crawfish etouffee in the planet.
Yeah, I'm
good stuff.
Etouffee. Y'all bring the crawfish.
Yeah.
And the rice.
And the rice.
Who bring the rice?
And the soy sauce.
Anybody got a pot I can borrow?
Mark G, thank you for still hanging out there, Bubba. If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. Oh, well, I ain't cheating, but I am trying. It still works. Fong, Danny is coming with me to the Royal this year, so please bring 9 extra cases of Miller. Fong pays for that out of his own pockets, Timmy.
He's not sponsored by Miller anymore, is he?
No. Well, yeah. Still.
None for Rob. Yeah, he's not bringing me none. He will definitely not bring. Don't forget the rice.
You, Rob.
100%. Don't forget. Don't forget the rice. Well, Fong, I appreciate you coming on tonight.
I'm gonna be at the Royal this year, and I will make Crawfish.
So for those that don't know, Fong, you are, and I want to promote this.
Etouffee at the Royal. Fong's making
Right.
crawfish etouffee at the Royal.
Let's promote this. Tell Fong, don't forget the cornstarch.
Yeah.
Talk about this Texas team compound. I appreciate that. I really do. I'm sincere right now. I do love the fact that you are trying to encourage Texas teams to show up at the American Royal. I feel like we're going to have more Texas teams than ever show up at the American Royal. Talk about your Texas compound, or what that's about, and how you're trying to put that together, and how they can become a part of it, because I will be over there doing my thing away from that, but I will visit all day, every day. Butter, you're part of that, right? You're going to be there. Phil, you were part of that last year. Talk about that compound y'all have set up over there.
Well, it's two of us, me and Phil and Bill Purvis, Chicken Fried. And Dirty Underwear Gang is across from us. Fong's too good, so he's on the other side behind everybody. So we never see Fong,
except when he comes over and tells us to turn down our music.
Yeah, that's it. He calls it a compound, but it's not really a compound.
Come on, Butter.
Them facts getting away too much.
Well, I mean, Texas compound has a little negative connotation. Well, last time we heard those two words together, we're talking Waco. So, all right, so it's not a Texas compound. It's just a group of Texas teams together, right?
Trying to make it bigger. Yeah, trying to get more teams over there. There was a lot of room. We had some non-Texas teams there last year in our group, too. It'd be nice.
We got to boot those guys. Get them out of there.
They really know how to party, and they were complaining about our party. So
they were complaining. You were complaining about my music and then Phil's music, and it is the Royal. We're not turning it down.
Matt Carr, settle down. We will not have your negativeness here on this show. Turns down the music, but wants to win Party of the Year. Matt Carr, settle down.
Go change his diaper.
Who's still talking? All right, so Fong. So did you hear?
What we're trying to do is we're trying to get all the Texas team up there, and if they want to be around all the Texas team in the compound together with us, we can help each other with anything that we need from whatever. If somebody forgets something, or somebody needs something, or they need help, or whatsoever, we're all there. Right there, we can help each other instead of running halfway across the field to help somebody. I know I brought Alan and Rick and them up there last year, and I know they went and fixed almost everybody's camper.
Yeah.
The whole time. And I'm like, I brought my guys up here to help me, and they're fixing me up. What the hell?
I had a random 12-volt water pump in my truck that I was going to use for something, and Kurt Harbor's water pump goes out in his RV, and he comes up to me and goes, "You have a water pump by any chance?" And it's like, why the hell would I have a water pump? He's like, "I don't know, man. Mine's broke." And I was like, I happen to have a brand new one sitting in there. So here you go.
Wow. That's pretty cool.
And
Daddy
Rick went over
Dutch.
there and installed it. So.
Daddy Dutch, what are you talking about? What did I say? I don't, it's all good. Yeah, come on, Daddy Dutch. You can be in the Texas compound. Texas Strong. Hashtag Texas Strong. Susie, I love that you're watching the show and commenting. Thank you very much. Martin Tykop.
Susie.
What's that?
Comment of the night. Susie's got the comment of the night so far.
Yes, she does.
Everybody loves breasts with a little skin on it.
There you go. I mean, Phil, you remember that from 30 minutes ago. Congratulations. That's pretty impressive. Tiny E is in the Texas compound. He wants to be. He said, please. We all have each other's back except Brian Fox, says Kevin Caldwell. First timer, so having Texas family will mean the world. Yes, Stacy. Oh, that's my friend Stacy Hale from Texas Sure Shot Barbecue. Here we go. What else? Josh Hale, let's go. Can't wait for the Royal. Sure Shot Barbecue right there. Breasts with some skin is always awesome. Absolutely. Corbin Stone wants to be in the Texas besides. He wants to be beside. Oh, man. Not only in the compound, he wants to be specifically beside Sure Shot Barbecue. Can you make that happen, Fong? Fong, do you have that much power?
Here's two things. We have to turn. I have a list of team names, and I have to turn it into the Royal by the end of the month. So if you want to be on it, be around us, You need to text me your team name, and I will add it to the list.
Do they need to be registered?
And you have to be registered with the Royal so that they can map out the spot for everybody. And if you like to be close to somebody, you have to let them know that who you want to be close by.
All right. So what he's saying is you have to register. You have to do that, but before the end of the month, and you have to tell them who you want to be within the compound close by. Right? All right. So do you have a certain block numbers? You know, they always have, section 200, section 300.
No, so we're going to try to be back where we were. I'm going to ask them to see if we can, keep that spot over there and then just add all the Texas team around it. But I don't know. I'm still working with them right now to see what we can do as far as getting everyone around there.
All right. The reason why you can't see Fong is because he's at church. Mark Suarez. He's in a back room somewhere. He's in a back room. All right, Fong. Well, thank you for coming on. We appreciate it. We're going to wrap this up with Butter and Phil because they've been on the entire time. But thank you for coming on, and thank you for still believing that I cheat, and that's fine. I believe it. I believe you believe that. But we're good. I love you. I'll still be in your tent at the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo after I go to Butters. But I will still be over there.
That's right. After you have
all right. Thank you, Fong. Thank you for coming on the show. We appreciate it. All right, man. Thanks. We'll see you. When are you going to be in Tomball in 2 weeks?
Tomball.
All right, sweet. I'll see you. Are you still going to set up next to me?
I have my first spot right there. So.
All right, so I'm across from you. Can we have a party?
We're gonna have a party.
All right.
We'll see you there, Fong.
Joint
we'll
party. Phil said he'll see you there as well.
All right. We'll see you then.
All right, so thank you very much. There's Fong Vong from Texas, Extreme Texas Cookers. He still believes that I cheat. That's fine. I'm fine with that. I did blast him last week. But he blasted me for 3 straight years, and that's fine. I love Fong. Love him. And I always said it, Fong loves him some Fong, and I love me some Fong. So there you go. Well, boys, we have been at it for almost 2 hours now, 1 hour and 46 minutes going in. I think, we talked about this being an off the rails, anything goes. Butter, anything you want to say or promote for yourself? Because, you and I have been friends for a long, long time. I remember when you were starting your sauces. This is a great opportunity for me because I remember both of you guys before y'all had blown up to be LC Barbecue and War Pig Barbecue and being in stores or being in specialty shops. I remember both of you coming to me, and I feel like, and I'm not trying to be a part of y'all's success, but it's fun to reminisce back, Butter with the sauce in the mason jars and dipping in, and me telling you what I thought about it, and then you perfecting it, and then you kind of just putting it out there for HEB Quest for Texas Best, and then winning that damn thing, which was really awesome. That's a great story. And Phil, I remember you bringing the little baggies with you, and here, let's try this. And I hit a second
baggies with me,
and I hit a second. They just got different shit in them. But back then they had injections in them. And we tried that and, hit a second place chicken with your injection. I remember that was a big deal. And it led to that, well, it's not back there anymore, but a GC at Kids Unlimited that weekend. Yeah, so that was the first time we using the foul play. I don't know if it was called foul play back in the day, but it always was. It was a baggie of stuff. So I feel invested in both of you guys and y'all's success since then. Butter, talk about what you got going on. I know you got new stuff, new lines coming up all the time.
Yeah, I mean, it was 5 years ago in August when I won the Quest for Texas Best. So, this show and my rise to, creating the sauce business and the rub business, we kind of go hand in hand. I mean, it's about the same time frame. So, it's really exciting for me to think back that, I created something that I thought if I got lucky, I would just sell it at cook-offs and maybe make enough money to pay the entry fee. and I never thought I would go after big grocery. So then I get an HEB, and it's been a blessing, with those guys for 5 years. They've helped me out a ton, helped me learn retail 101, grocery 101, those kind of things. And so there's a lot of big things on the horizon. For War Pig, I've had some really great phone calls with buyers from, let's just say, the world's largest retailer. And so it's, I think next year is going to be really big for us. So just excited about that, and fighting the constant rise in manufacturing cost and, material cost,
Thank you, Mark.
cost, and trying not to raise our prices to the consumer. So it's a battle every day to try to figure out where my breaking point is, where I actually have to, raise the price. And we haven't had to do it yet. But it just got ugly last week, with the factory. I mean, all the prices just went up exponentially. So it's fun. It's a fun business. I don't encourage everybody to get into it because, it's not something you're just going to get rich overnight on. So it's going to be something, you're going to have to grind and put the work in, put the effort, because if nobody knows anything about your product, they're not going to carry it in the store. And this is difficult, and there's still a lot of the boutique barbecue stores across the country that still to this day don't know who we are. So I still have a tough job getting my products in some of these stores, like some of the stores that Phil's in, like those guys still don't know who I am.
Yeah.
And it becomes like, do I
And
chase
vice versa too. It's endless, Butter. You know what I mean?
it is. It's like, do I go after them, or I try to just take care of the people that I'm in and make sure they have enough products. So, but yeah, it was fun, man. We did the mason jar thing with you, Rob, and even with Phil, man, I was bringing snafu in a mason jar to him, saying, "Hey, what do you think of this new chicken sauce that I just created?" And then God help me, I was bored to death in the back of Waller County Fairgrounds at a cook-off. There was nobody around me, and I just said, "Man, it'd be a good time to create this beef sauce you've been thinking about." So I just got on my little stovetop, had a few ingredients, tried it out. 50 Cal was born. I hit a first place brisket. Went the next week to League City Music Fest, hit a first place brisket, and I just kept hitting first place briskets with it.
Right here, Anthony Katea. He's been doing well this year. 50 Cal's been keeping me walking consistently, along with all the LC barbecue injections. Another one, Rockine says, we at Rockine are waiting for the chicken bomb to be an HEB and selling and winning like crazy. Another guy, Jesse. Butter, I used your sauces, 50 Cal and snafu on a practice run. I'm doing a cook-off in June. Going to use it.
That 50 Cal, it's hard to explain, but it's bark in a bottle if you're a brisket cook. It truly is. It makes your brisket shine. It's a great flavor profile adder, and definitely a great color. And it's been on first place. Several of the top 10 briskets at Houston Rodeo this year had 50 Cal on it. So it was great. I can always tell when it's 50 Cal when somebody posts a picture, but it's nice to hear somebody say it every once in a while.
Mark over on Twitch says, I'm going to have to find me some snafu. The name alone grabs me. Where can they find your products, Butter?
Well, I mean, you can always go to warpigbarbecue.com. If you're in Texas, you can go to HEB. If you're in the South, Atlanta Barbecue Store carries it, so shipping's probably a little cheaper from them. You can, if you're up in the Midwest, if you're around a Fresh Time grocery store, we're in 70 locations up there as well, from all the way from Wisconsin to Pennsylvania with Fresh Time. So that was a big thing for us to get in that store. And then hopefully next year, we're in 1,000 stores. So that's the goal.
VP
right now,
to VP.
Creating
No
the
secret.
new product just isn't something to me that's worthwhile with the cost. The factories aren't excited about bringing in new ingredients because they're having to pay for all this stuff. So I'm just really focusing on what I have and getting it out there. I have a ton of products lined up to launch, but my goal is just really focus on getting in the stores, and then I can add products to their shelves as I go. So,
Absolutely.
yeah, Ronnie texted me a long time ago and told me he uses it and said he loves it, and it's a couple other big guys did too. It's really cool. It's exciting to see people finally jumping on it. And
Freddie the Yeti, I haven't seen him comment ever. Thank you for tuning in, Fred. welcome in. Appreciate it. Make sure you like and subscribe and do all that good stuff. Is that Bono or Butters?
Yeah, so these are just my computer glasses because I'm on this big ass screen and I was golfing all day today. It was a hard day at work, so my eyes are kind of sunburned.
I think Rain said you look like I read it as Caleb, but I think and I reread it and you look like a celeb, not Caleb.
Oh, Lord.
You look like a celeb. There's a big difference in celeb and Caleb. Depends.
Depends
It depends
on the celeb.
how you read it. Yeah, Caleb is a celeb.
I cooked next to him this past weekend at League City. Good times. He had a pretty decent cook. I had a better one. I told him when we started. I said, "Hey,
Just throwing that out there.
I said, Caleb, I'm going to. I was a defending grand champ because they canceled it in 20 and 21, so I won it 19. I said, hey, I'm trying to get back. I'm trying to defend this thing. I said, but at the end of the day, I just want to beat you. So as long as I beat you, I don't care. He's like, man, this sucks. I was like, no, you're trying to beat me too. We're trying to beat each other. It's what we do. So we have a long history of doing that. So it was great. He got 2 walks. I got 1 walk in the final table. So it came down to who bombed brisket, really, because I knew I was still in the mix. And they called him for 7th overall. And he's like, I got you. And they kept going. And they called me for 5th. And it was at that moment he knew his brisket fucked up. He was like,
It was at that
"Oh,
very
man."
moment. Yes. Those
Both
are
of our
always good.
briskets, I did the research, and we both landed on the same table, which was the table of death, and it was bad. Mine was 20th. I think his was 30 something. And no brisket from that table made the top 10 overall. So,
Brian Fox and Caleb's mojo has ran out. I don't believe that. He's doing strong. So
we'll put out good meat.
well, that's cool, Butter. So that's a great story, and I do, like I said, I feel like I was there at the genesis of what's going on with you now.
Yeah, a lot of you guys were. A lot of people in
Yeah.
the comments were there, and I appreciate everybody. I mean, it's been a fun ride because I just, one of my good friends, Matt Kirkland, was the guy that was my sauce sponsor, Texas Smokehouse barbecue sauce back in the day, and he called me and said, "Hey, I'm going to quit making it. I need to focus on my job," and that's what got me into saying it's time to try to create our own sauce. That's when we made Food Bar. So,
Phil, you and I have a similar story, but let's talk about what you got going on. I know you have a class this weekend. I will be there with you, helping you doing that. But talk about your rubs and your injections and those sauces.
First off, I just really want to say thanks for all the comp guys out there that support us, have given our products a shot, and continue to support us. I never thought, like Butter, that I'd be doing this for a living, cooking comps, making products, teaching classes, all about barbecue. And
No, he's not asleep.
I'm awake now.
Did Butter put you to sleep?
We appreciate y'all. As far, we got the class going on this weekend. Excited about that. I got a new pork injection getting ready to release. Waiting on labels, waiting on product to make the labels. But I think we're about 2 or 3 weeks out from that. So we're probably 6 to 8 weeks out from launching our new pork injection that we're excited about. That's what we got going on right now.
Awesome, man. Like I said earlier, that was a good times, man, back in the day when you were just getting started and doing that. And a lot of people, like Butter mentioned, a lot of people were a big part of that. And I'm sure you probably have the same type of crew that was trying it out whenever you were doing it, and it was fun.
Yeah, for sure. I remember that, Rob. You were, I think, at Kids Unlimited. I think there was 5 or 6 teams that we ran that foul play that day, and maybe like if it was 5, it was 4 out of 5 walked, and if it was 6, it was 5 out of 6 walked. So,
yeah, no, it was definitely a big deal. Y'all want to stick around while I do this bull printing wraps and graphics wrap up recap in the upcoming event segment, or y'all want to head out? It's up to you guys.
I'll stick around. Did we mention the doubleheader Tomball VFW coming up?
Well, I'm about to. All right, here we go. Guys, we've got some good events that just happened. This is the bull printing wraps and graphics wrap up recap. You guys know me. I love bull printing. This has been an organization that's been with me, been with this show since the beginning. It's been with me since 2012. So if you guys have seen the Bullhorn trailer, you guys know They do amazing work. The Bullhorn Tailgater side has been around since 2012. You got to look at it. It still looks amazing. They do wraps, banners, decals, anything you want. They've got it. Contact Cheeto over at Bull Printing Wraps and Graphics. And they were, like I talked about earlier, they were where we started, the Bull Printing Wraps and Graphics Studios. That was fun. All right, over in the Champions Barbecue Alliance, it was a lot Stock and Barrows Ag Youth, the grand champion. He was in the comments. I hope he's still here. That was John Barton of Barton Barbecue, the RGC. Victor Garcia, this guy's on a roll right now. Uncle Vic's Barbecue. Over in the LSBS, Lone Star, the Howdy Roo Barbecue competition. The champion was Johnson. I got to meet him over in Lampasas last weekend at Ocala Q. And the RGC was Clint Collier. I do have to say, Lone Star and Outlaw, please put the team names with the winners. So that'll help me. Clint Collier, I don't know your team name, but congratulations on RGC. Over in the BCMUD Barbecue, the grand champion was Steve Mowry. RGC, Dustin Long. And at the BOTW Challenge, the grand champion, Jeremy Cortez, Smoking OCD. And RGC was Tommy Smith from Bent Nail Barbecue. The reason why I put their names, because I know those guys personally. Congratulations. Over in the IBCA, we had the 15th annual Chigger Hill contest. The grand champion, congratulations to my good friend Jamie Roby with Texas Smoke. The RGC, I don't know this young lady, Amy Wilson with Crooked Crown Cookers. Congratulations. That's my first time to say her name on the show.
She's a disciple of Amped Cookers. So Michelle,
very nice.
I learned
very
that
nice.
this weekend. I was like, "Who is this lady?" And they were like, "That's Michelle's people." Like, she taught them well. So yeah, great job.
Yeah, great job. Congratulations. I thought this was Crosby, Texas, but it's not. Crosbyton, the Crosby County Farm Bureau contest. The grand champion was Kevin Eberlin from Smokin' Stash Barbecue. The RGC was Merrick Hager from Smokin' Raiders. So Smoking Gooder Show might have done well because we have smoking in our name. You never know. You never know. And over in the Guns and Hoses Cooking for Kids Cook-Off, the grand champion with Keith Weininger from the Burn Shop. The RGC was Mike Gomez from Mike's Q. And the League City Music Fest, Butter, you were over there at that point. Grand champion was Eric Leland from High Pressure Smokers. And the RGC was Sean Moore from Chasin' More Smoke. Congratulations. That was over in the IBC. And over in the Outlaw, this is where Case would go, pew, 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 which I love it. I love it. The Kaufman County Fire Cook-Off, the grand champion, Alan Freeman from Team Chickacapow. The RGC was Jeremy Masterson. So congratulations to those winners. And over, we're going to talk about the upcoming events. Unfortunately, I don't have a nice slide to show because I ran out of time, unfortunately. But over in the Champions Barbecue Alliance this weekend, we're only going to do this weekend. We're also going to talk about the Tomball Cook-Off. Mark Marley's Go Big or Go Home Barbecue Bash. That is in Plainview, Texas this weekend. Over in San Benito, Texas, it's the San Benito Hog Waddle Cook-Off. And over in Alamo, Texas, it's the City of Alamo Festival and Cook-Off. Next weekend, Jeff Rankin is the host of the 32nd Annual Jordanton Volunteer Fire Department Cook-Off. He is part of the Volunteer Fire Department over in Jordanton. That's at Jordanton City Park, Texas. That is next weekend, May 21st. And in 2 weeks, that's where I will be. That's probably my next cook-off. I'll be in Tomball. It is a back-to-back double. It is the We Got Your Back Day 1 and Day 2. That's going to be a Saturday and Sunday event, May 28th and 29th over in Tomball at the Tomball VFW. That is a state championship, people. So if you guys are chasing that state championships to get into the Jack Daniel contest, there you go. Did I mention? No, we haven't got there yet. Butter, if you know of the next ones that are maybe state championships, please chime in. But we've got 4 events also this weekend in the IBCA in El Campo. We have the 11th annual Kalita Creek Barbecue Association Cook-Off. In Rockport, Texas, we have the 4th annual Battle on the Bay. Over in, never mind, Wimberley was postponed, so that is not happening. Butter, I want to ask you about this one in Galveston, Texas. Yaga's Wild Game Cook-Off. How was that one, bub?
So that one's good. I did that one when it wasn't sanctioned, and I did it, the first year they sanctioned it. So it's a good cook-off. Lots of categories. So if you have team members that you don't always let cook, there's plenty of things for them to cook. I think it's seafood, wild game, chef's choice. I think they had. So lots of good stuff. Very hot, but it's right there on the right there on the dock between the Strand and the docks. So a lot of cool stuff. A lot of stuff for your people to do. What we used to do is come down and rent an Airbnb, one of the big houses down there that would have a pool in it. So at the end of, when we were done prepping, we would go straight to the house and just jump in the pool and swim. So it's a good time. Sad I'm going to miss it this year. It's the first time I missed it in probably 3 or 4 years. So.
All right. Well, over in the Outlaw Barbecue Association this weekend, we have barbecue on Ballard. That's in Wiley, Texas. And we have the Butterfield Stage Days. Any relation, Butter?
No, I'm Butterworth. But yeah.
In Bridgeport, Texas, it's the Butterfield Stage Days. That's over in the Outlaw Barbecue Association. And lastly, in Lone Star, we have 2 events. Nope, one was canceled. Sorry. We have one event that is in Munster, Texas, Brothers of Service. That's going on this weekend in Munster, Texas. Phil, I'm going to call on you. This was the Briscoe Ranch Cook-Off at the Crossroads upcoming event segment. Would you please say some words about the Briscoe Ranch Cook-Off in Uvalde, Texas, bub?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Every December, big cook-off, Wade and the crew, and first-class red carpet to the cooks, and got a nice dinner. We've cooked it, I think, the last 3 years. Yeah, great cook-off. We enjoyed that one.
Sorry, I'm muted. And they have some great facilities, man. The facilities are top-notch. It's all on concrete. Wade Carpenter crew do a phenomenal job out there. When you show up, they greet you. You have dinners on Friday. They actually have a show that they've invited us to do a couple of years now. So it's a great event, man, and it's something that is definitely a top-notch one in the state. So if you guys have
a lot of power and water out there too, Rob.
Yes,
not all of it, but you can get in there and get it. There's a lot of spots with it.
I can even put this up there. Yeah, that is going to be Uvalde, Texas, December 9th in Tex. That is 9th and 10th. 2022, that's the 15th annual Briscoe Ranch Cook-Off at the Crossroads in Uvalde, Texas. So make sure you put that on the calendar for sure. You will not be disappointed. That's a great event. All right, so we're over 2 hours in. It's time.
So, Rob, I know you said you got any state championships this weekend or no?
I do not know of any this weekend.
So this weekend, but the following week we got VFW, right? And they just said they are a state championship.
That's in 2 weeks. Yes, that is going to be a tomball. That's the Memorial Day weekend. Matt Carr, that's a good question, Matt Carr. You have to wait and see. We don't know. Will it be 4 meet or 3 meet?
Yeah, and the tomball VFW is a great venue for you guys that haven't done it. Plenty of room to stretch out, and there's some shade trees up against the back where you can set up. It's usually where Dirty Underwear Gang sets up. They always have something fun to do on the inside. They have a nice little bar area. They just remodeled everything. Tom and Belle Clark do a phenomenal job up there helping out Ty and just the whole crew. I mean, it's my I'm a lifetime member of that VFW, so it means a lot to me. It's not my organization, but I want it to be a huge success no matter what. So,
appreciate that, Butter. And this is why I do this show. I promote you just saw me. I went through Lone Star, Outlaw, IBCA, CBA. I think they're Central Texas, but I need to check on them. But the point of this show and the point, we all need to come together. We all need to kind of build each other up and have events that promote or that help promoters do what they're trying to do and bring money to their cause and help cooks, right? We all want to go out there and have a great event and have facilities available to us to go out and do what we love to do every week, each and every weekend. So, this show is one that promotes all of that. And Butter, I appreciate you saying that about the Tomball event, because I feel the same way whenever I try and do promotions for other events. So we all need to come together. We all need to, I think that's another factor that maybe might keep cooks away, as maybe some of the infighting in organizations. So who knows what, there's a lot of factors that, we talked about all of them, but the fact that you brought that up, I appreciate that.
Yep, it's a great event. I mean, and Memorial Day is a great weekend to kick back, grab some cold ones, sit around with some friends, and enjoy cook-off and camaraderie, especially at somewhere like a VFW where, the money's going to a good cause, and it's the perfect weekend for that cause. So
Yep.
I unfortunately won't be there. Our trailer will be there because it's always, that they love having it there with the tank and everything. I'm trying to get Pop to go cook it, under War Pig, and let him run it. If he wants to do it, I told him the trailer's his. So I'll be in Myrtle Beach playing golf, but I'll be thinking about you guys.
Nice. I think it'll be a lot less hot in Myrtle Beach.
Yeah, it's going to be lovely.
Hey, well, boys, thank you so much for coming on the show and being a part of this thing. Man, it was awesome. We were Han Solo tonight, but I think we did a great job. Phil, you're smiling up there. I like it. Butter, always a blast hanging out with you. That was fun. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Guys, if you're watching on the show, still got 40,000 people watching. We hit over 100,000, so 100% success on the show tonight. That was fun, guys. Appreciate you.
Great times.
What's that?
Great times.
Great
seeing everybody
times.
Still here. Tim Esch is still commenting, which is awesome. So
Susie.
it's great. seeing
Susie still
everybody.
commenting. Matt Carr.
Susie.
I appreciate you guys. Mark G from Twitch is still hanging out. I appreciate that. Brian Fox still in the house. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in the show. We're trying to grow this. Again, our 5-year anniversary is coming up in July. We're going to have a 5-year anniversary party, and that will be at the Rose Hill Beer Garden, tentatively for July the 14th. That's a Thursday night. There is an event in Hempstead that weekend, so we're going to kind of tie that in. Somebody mentioned, and Jared, I think it was Jared mentioned, why don't you try and do that around that weekend? It's a great idea. We're going to do it. We're going to bring Joey Machado in. It's going to be a fun time, so if you guys can make that, we're going to have shirts. We're going to have decals just to support the show. We appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate all the comments saying a great show. It was a great show. We had a good time. Thank you so much. We missed Case Han, but this would be the time where he said... Butter, I saw that.
We always have more viewers when I'm on and Case isn't, by the way. I was going to bring that up earlier, but...
Oh, Jared's still commenting. That's his birthday weekend, too. This is Kevin Wise with KW Barbecue, and you've been watching the So Smoking Gooder Show. That's right. All right, guys. This will be the time where Case says, good night, Barbecue Nation, and you too, California. All right, guys, we are out. Thank you so much. Guys, y'all stick around real quick.